Hello, and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage, Psychic Medium. Thank you for showing up to receive your very special prescription for how to best work with the universal energies that will be present this week. And this is the week from the 21st of December to the 27th of December 2019. I would like to wish you new moon blessings in Capricorn. The new moon will be on the 26th of December, and it's fabulous that it's in the sign of Capricorn, which is very much around our work and creating new opportunities for ourselves. So isn't that fantastic to be thinking about these things just before the new year comes in? And if I haven't said it already, I wish you all a very happy, safe, sane, joyous holiday season and a truly blessed 2020. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm really excited about the cards that came out this week. I've pulled 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid and 1 card from her Goddess Power Oracle and another card from the Crystal Spirits Oracle card deck. And yes, if you don't already know, sorry, my thoughts just come in so fast, I just trip over them. Colette is relaunching the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And even though I have this deck and I've had it for years and I love it, and it went into my fire bag when I had to pack to go, I'm really excited to see the new deck. The artwork's very different, shows a lot of diversity, and she's changed some of the names of the cards as well. So I've seen her using it on her videos, and I'm really excited to see it. She hasn't said when it's launching, but I'm sure it's sometime next year. Okay, so our anchor card. Oh, when I saw this, I was just like, yes. Breathe, a sigh of relief. The anchor card is breathe, and that's card 29. Okay, well, what a week. I'm really glad that we had the Fates as the anchor card last week, which is essentially the Serenity Prayer, because we so needed to live in that space and really become the embodiment of the Serenity Prayer last week. If you're here in Australia, or if you may have heard overseas the news about Australia, we've been having some absolutely severe and terrifying bushfires. And this week on Thursday, we had temperatures hitting up around the 40s, and they gave us emergency evacuation notices. They said that the towns about 10 to 15 minutes from me were being evacuated, like get out basically. And then, it was the next town and then our town. So I even made it to the news trying to escape my town. Stuck in the car park that became the Hume Highway. And I thought that terrified me more, being stuck in bumper to bumper traffic and seeing all the trucks go past. But I want to say how grateful I am, because even with me panicking and everything happening, I still have my tools. I meditated. I probably drove extremely badly on the way over. I was tapping and chanting and all the rest of it. And I had rescued one dog and left my partner with the other dog and all this stuff. Anyway, I had somewhere to go, and my whole family was taken in by another family who was so generous and so kind to us, and I felt so blessed. They took us in with our dogs and everything, and it wasn't an easy situation, and they were so gracious about it. And then my daughter's friend offered for us to go to her house because she wouldn't be there. Same thing, let us take our dogs there. And on the next really hot day, which was Saturday, we were able to, be shut inside this beautiful air-conditioned house, just minutes from the shops and everything, and all stay together there. So we're all okay. Our families are okay. Our house is okay. My neighbours are okay. That was probably the hardest part, was leaving and knowing that my neighbours were staying behind. I was so relieved when I found out some of them were going. But just, the gifts coming out of these tragedies. People have lost their homes. Many have. The township of Balmoral was probably worst affected, and it's about 15 minutes south towards Bowral from me. Bargo was hit, Yandera was hit. I'm not sure if they lost any homes in Yandera, but just absolutely terrifying, evacuation centres filling up and things like that. These are very, very scary times that are for myself, really, really testing my faith. And yet I still have my faith. And I must admit, blessings for Letha or you, and solstice blessings. I really felt uh, just my nose is out of joint about the whole thing. Just when you do go through these things, it does test your faith. And I haven't felt like diving deep into my spiritual practices. I felt really annoyed. I felt probably my spirituality expressed more in receiving, good news and just being so grateful that my family was taken care of, and that apart from the tragedy of 2 firefighters losing their lives at Buxton, the toll, it's been incredibly high on the bush and the wildlife and incredibly stressful. Yet, apart from those 2 tragedies, no other lives have been lost in these fires up to this point. Um, it just it's just scary. You'll hear choppers going over again. We've had constant choppers. Those choppers are amazing, carrying the water buckets and, dumping waters. We had the big plane. My neighbour said you almost felt like they could touch the belly of the planes that went over the house, dumping fire retardant on properties and trying to establish containment lines around towns. It's the effort out here to fight these fires has been monumental. And I just drove over to the Oaks, and that used to be a beautiful drive. It was so green and lush. You look all out to Bogarang Valley, see all the bush that edges up to that, and it was just so picturesque. And it's the worst I've ever seen it. And people are saying, why are these fires not being stopped and everything? And you've got the culmination of this incredibly severe drought, and lots of fuel on the ground, and high temperatures and extreme winds, and lightning storms which started fires. And there's just so much bush, and it is so dry. And I don't think it helps to go looking for blame. I think it's much more helpful and practical to start thinking about what we can do from here on out and what needs to be done today. And breathe, I love that, because on the other hand, people aren't affected by these fires at all. You're all running around crazy ass trying to get ready for Christmas, which is only 2 days away. So, and I found myself getting a little bit caught up to that. I don't celebrate Christmas, and I made a conscious decision not to, and then I still, get the guilt and think, I haven't got my kids any presents, and, that's not easy to live with. We went and did the shopping, and I'll make a nice meal, and that will be my gift to them. But breathe is about reminding us about how important it is to stay in the present moment, to meditate, to stay connected to our breath, to remember that breath is life, to do, just to pause and to do the things that assist and support us to bring calm into our lives, to bring a sense of balance and rest and just pausing. So it's really, really important this week that we maintain this calm. So we had the Serenity Prayer last week, and we had all these disasters and things like that. Or you may have just been really super busy, Christmas shopping or family or visiting, or, so many people trying to finish up their work. A lot of people have been prevented going to work. We've had incredible smoke. It's made people very, very sick. The air has been so toxic and dangerous to breathe. It's just been insane. So it's more important than ever, even if you don't have what you would consider a spiritual practice or a faith or belief, if you can just be connected to your breath for the calming benefits it gives you, then that's going to assist you at this time. So Spirit wants us to know to just breathe, and where there is breath, there is life, and people are going to rebuild. People are going to bounce back from this. We're going to be wiser, stronger, braver, and we're going to really focus on what's important and invest in protecting that and making sure that grows. Like the community spirit out here is incredible. People are doing toy drives, barbecue things. They're feeding the fireys. They're giving them everything they need. And thank you so much to all the fireys and the first responders. The police are doing an incredible job. this you said, like, just to take things day by day, moment by moment. And if you're someone who's really struggling with anxiety, so many people are diagnosed with anxiety these days and can relate to it. Then breath work is one of the most essential tools you can put in your tool bag to assist you to manage and support your anxiety. So yes, Spirit wants to know to breathe. And so reflect on that anchor card with the messages that come up with the other cards as well. TikTok came up in protection as our next right action. And that's to remind us that even if it's crazy, and I feel like this is more the message about Christmas, and we feel like we're running out of time, please just take a moment to smell the roses, to think about what you're grateful for, what you can appreciate in this moment, and to come into the now. Our subconscious mind be jumping and ordering things into the future and into the past, and it can organize them and it can sort them out if we be mindful about and say, okay, what is it that absolutely needs my attention right now? And bring your resources and your energy to doing that task. And there's probably plenty of things we can put down. So if you're running around worried and concerned you're running out of time, we're never going to be done. That's another thing. Nothing's ever really finished or complete. Think about housework, okay? If you get the metaphor of housework, it's a continual process. You're never going to be done. I find housework one of the most unsatisfying tasks because no matter you clean, I'm a perfectionist. I always think, oh, there's that spot, and you think you just have to stop and walk away. So Christmas. I really feel like if you do celebrate Christmas or don't, if you just get together with your family, it's a good reason, to see people at this time of the year who you may not see at other times, or reach out and reconnect with people. We'll take the time. I really feel like the message of TikTok is, slow things down, take the time, and what's meant for us won't go past us. And is it the message about is it important for us to make sure, there's a quantity of things, we're giving, we're doing whatever, or is it about quality experiences, spending quality time, giving quality gifts, which are really essentially meaningful. We're not just grabbing that thing because it's Christmas and we've got to give everybody something. And please remember to give to yourself. It's perfectly okay to buy something for yourself at Christmas time, the end of the year, celebrate your achievements, and just know that time is precious, yet there's, linear time and there's infinity as well. So we're not going to run out of time for things that are really meant for us and the things that we take time and prioritize as important. Okay, and then we have go the distance. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I really feel like this is talking about your resources. So your time, your energy, your money, things like that. It's a really good idea to be mindful of resources and know that you may need to stretch your resources out over the holiday time. So, not blowing all your cash in one big extravagant gift or lots of outings and things like that. So stretch things out over this holiday season and savor those wonderful, beautiful moments and experiences. Really savor them. I think we just get caught up so much in the rush at this time that it becomes more difficult to slow down when we do have the time. We can still be really wound up. So remember, breathe, connect with our breath, doing meditation, slowing down, and as she said, go the distance. The whole message in this reading is about slowing down. Okay, regeneration. Regeneration came out in protection. And I just want to read from the guidebook because I really love the message that was in here. It says, endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die, so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You are about to be reborn. I've so been feeling this, like we're on the cusp of so much change. And, if I look at these bushfires, like, talk about regeneration. I mean, with some decent rain, the bush will regenerate. Australian bush is incredible. But some parts, I just feel like something fundamental has shifted and changed. We're no longer the people that we once were, and we're evolving and shifting faster and faster, and these events are really bringing things to the fore, and the polarization is so sharp. The disagreements, if you look at social media and that, yeah, it's really kind of sad. You've just got to focus on the good things that are happening. Yet I just feel like this can't ever happen again. Bill Shorten, I think he's still the leader of the opposition. He could have been our Prime Minister in the Labor Party. He said that the fires are a threat to national security because each individual security is actually threatened by them. And it's true. They're what you call mega fires now, and people in Sydney are like, oh, now they'll be coming for us. And I'm like, I said to someone, well, that'd be great because then everyone will get outside with their garden hoses and have a go. This complacency, this reliance on somebody else will come in and fix things for you because the government, we've handed our power over to so many, institutions like the government, schools, education, hospitals, whatever. We need to advocate for our own health and well-being and our livelihood and our very life. We need to advocate for the world we want to live in. And I feel like the corner is turning. And right now we're poised, ready for an injection of spiritual faith and power and guidance and true leadership. It's like the most frightening times, but the most exciting times too. I just feel like this is it. And sometimes you wonder, how bad things have got to get before things change. And, it's darkest before the dawn. I thought, well, okay, this is pretty bad. And this is where I am. People, there's suffering and disasters all over the world. There goes another helicopter. It sounds like we're in a war zone. I shouldn't joke about that for people who actually are in war zones. Anyway, it's a new experience for all of us. And I just feel like people are starting to understand people power and advocacy and agency and understanding that, like my community's done, they haven't waited for people to organise things. They're getting off their backs, and social media is a big part of that, and they're organising things themselves. Right now at this moment, they've organised a toy drive. People are starting Facebook groups. They're all keeping each other informed. They're supporting one another. It's beautiful to see. That our old ways of living and the old paradigms are dying. They're crumbling. I'm excited about what's going to come next because it has to be better. It really does. So accepting what is, surrendering and allowing it to die, because that rebirth is going to be phenomenal. I'm going to leave you with that. Okay, Metis. This is what I love too. We've been information, inundated. We have so much information these days. What we lack is wisdom. There's a beautiful quote by someone way more famous that I can't think of at the moment. It's true. We need to enter into the age of wisdom. And Metis her message is about when knowledge and experience come together, then we gain wisdom. We need to become a whole lot wiser than we are. The experiences that we're coming through now, braver, stronger, wiser. We need to glean the wisdom because that is going to be the foundation for how we make these changes going forward. We need to listen to the experts. We need to listen to the spiritual leaders, the people who are experts in their field, who have the wisdom. We need to bring our wise leaders in every field together to create this new world. And that's what we're looking for. We don't need more information or more like poor quality information. We need the very best information, but we need wisdom more than ever before, and we need to be these open vessels for Spirit to provide the wisdom for us. So going forward, all about wisdom. And Moonstone from the Crystal Spirits Oracle. It's very much about the polar shift. This is a very feminine energy coming in, a concentration of feminine energy about looking for minorities, looking to the other side of the polarity that's been neglected and shining a light on it. And Moonstone is very much about connecting with your intuition and your inner wisdom, your inner teacher. So these are extremely spiritual times, times when we could be thinking differently. Who said, allowing ourselves to be pure channels for wisdom, and then we take inspired action from there upon the wisdom we receive. The moon's about being really in touch with the feminine nature of life, like the cycles of life and understanding death and rebirth and all that. The softer illumination of the dark places and that silvery light, being in touch with magic and miracles and mysteries. So diving deep into the darkness and finding the wisdom there. It's all about the night, the moon, the phases, how life changes so much, but it is cyclical. So very exciting times. And if you do new moon rituals, it would be fantastic if you could work with something like Moonology, Yasmin Boland's book, which I talk a lot about, and do a new moon ritual and think about what it is you would like to create. Create those new moon wishes with the best of intentions for the highest good of all. Surrender them to the divine as you understand them, and really bring some of that feminine wisdom right deep into your heart and express that. We're all being encouraged to be vessels for the divine, to be role models, in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, the way we live our life, to really be the embodiment of divine wisdom and a different way of life. And, to be conduits of peace and love and prosperity and compassion. Looking at, as you said, the other side of the polarity, We've lived through so many yang times. Moonstone's a very yin message. We need to flip the switch, flip the polarities, and start coming from this place more, especially this week. Let this week set the tone and carry this energy into the new year. And it's more about allowing and receiving, being these open vessels, than, that yang type energy, going out and making it happen. There's a time for action, but this is a different type of action. And it's about allowing in the wisdom and the love, being the receptacle, receiving all our good. I really feel like it's going to be a totally blessed week. I feel like it's going to be a week of calm. And as long as you listen and pay attention and think about how you can best work with these energies, then we'll be more in the flow. We won't be so resistant and we'll find ourselves carried through this week. Okay, wishing you so many blessings and a beautiful Christmas and New Year's and holiday season. And I will see you next week. Oh, sorry, just to let you know too, private readings are closed for this year. And I will be coming back on the 1st of February 2020. So if I'm quieter on my socials or if I don't respond to your emails or messages, it's because I'm officially on break. Wishing you a fantastic holiday too. Okay, see you next week.